Nick speaking. Right, welcome to my second part of this video. I've already covered the compulsory units in the first video, and this is now sort of adding on to the compulsory units, building up to a 1,000-point list. Now, I've tried quite a few 1,000-point lists over periods of time, and well, in my opinion, this is pretty much about the best one. You obviously can change it around a little bit, mix and match, make it your own. But what I have found with this list is it's going to be units which you are going to be using in the future. So once you've bought these for 1,000 points, when you go up to 1,500, 1,750, 2,000, you're going to carry on using the units, which is obviously quite useful considering you're going to be spending a lot of money on them. Now obviously people may disagree with the list, and no, that's brilliant, that's their opinion. I've tried lots of other lists. I've tried the Immortals with the Veil of Darkness, a few other bits and pieces, but I have found this to be pretty much the best all-rounder. So we've obviously discussed the warriors and how vulnerable they are, and we need to find ways to stop them being so vulnerable. One way is using the Tomb Spider. Now what the Tomb Spider does, it stops you having to be within 6 inches of each other to get your will be backs. So effectively, you put your Tomb Spider down in the middle, and that allows you to spread the warriors, I think it's 12 inches from your Tomb Spider. So as long as you're within 12 inches of the Tomb Spider and there's another set of warriors on the table, you still get your will be back. And obviously that's assuming that the whole squad gets wiped out. So that's what he does basically. He lets you spread out your warriors, which means that if you do get caught out by a drop pod, or if an assault unit comes in, they're not going to be able to multi-assault you. They're going to have to go to one side of the board or the other side of the board and work on one unit. If they do manage to wipe the unit out, then you obviously have a chance to stand up and join the other unit over the other side of the table, and then letting you rapid fire, etc. The other good thing about the Tomb Spider is, at the moment, where he can produce a Scarab Swarm in the assault phase, this can be used to your advantage. And the reason for that is, once he's produced a Scarab Swarm, he no longer is a monstrous creature, he is a unit. And ideally, what you want to do is get him around cover and produce a Scarab Swarm into cover. Now that unit is in cover, so you're going to get a cover save, even though the Tomb Spider is not 50% in cover. And not only that, with the mixed units, you choose basically the toughness you want. So as opposed to toughness 3, the whole unit's going to be toughness 6. So now you have a toughness 6 unit, 3 wounds on the Scarabs, 2 wounds on the Tomb Spider. You choose one with the gun, one with the double claws. It's entirely up to you. I find the gun is quite useful to just have those extra shots, and they are AP3. And obviously the Tomb Spider can also be used to tar pit your units as they come in. He's not going to survive that much, especially if there are power fists and power weapons around. So you have to be cautious, but it does give you that extra option. So you're pretty much coming up to your 1,000 points, just 400 points, no, not quite 400, sorry, how many points left? 300 points left. And what I take is 2 squads of 3 destroyers. Now I know destroyers strength 6, which means you obviously can't target armor 13, but what you can do is you can glance them. And the advantage of the Necrons having your auto glance on a 6 means that you will actually be able to stop your vehicle or your opponent's vehicle from shooting. You may not be able to destroy it, you may not be able to stop it coming towards you, but you will be able to stop it shooting for 1 round a turn. Because as soon as you get a glancing hit, even if you score a 1, that vehicle's not going to be able to shoot, and that's going to be big. Obviously if you've got an AV11, AV10, you're going to be able to to penetrate it and do some damage. You've got 3 shots each gun, 2 squads. Remember, they do have to be within 6 inches of each other. Obviously the tomb spider rule applies, but the chances are you're going to be forward. So the way I've laid this out is basically these are going to be at the back, and the warriors spread out either side, the tomb spider in the middle, trying to get cover, and then the Lord obviously turbo boosts out, we mentioned that already, and then your 2 destroyers basically sort of just around midfield, depending on where your opponent is. Sometimes you might have to just use 1 turn of shooting just to turbo boost the destroyers over to one side of the board, the weaker side that your enemy are on, giving you the chance to react to your opponent's movements. But all in all, the destroyers are also very useful for contesting. So once again, a bit like the tactics with the scarab swarms, you lose 1, maybe 2 destroyers, the 3rd destroyer will just turbo boost off, get behind terrain, hide out of the way, and obviously if it's a mission like Seize Ground, just keep him there till turn 5 and turbo boost him out to that objective and contest the objective. So you've got 3 contesting, or potentially if you split the Lord with the Scarabs, you've got 4 contesting units, and over here obviously these would stay onto your objective, at least 1 squad would. Now if your opponent's quite heavy on shooting, and I would advise that you reserve your warriors, or at least 1 squad. Obviously if you're off the board, you can't be shot at, less chance of dying, less chance of phase out, and then when you do eventually come on, you can just walk up onto the objective. The other key thing with objective placement, let's just say this is our objective. Now what you would expect someone to do is maybe place the objective here, right on your warriors, right next to your warriors, and this is the wrong thing to do with Necrons. What in actual fact you need to be doing is you need to be placing your objective, imagine these aren't here, I'll just take these out of the way. So what you want to be doing is actually placing the objective forward in front of your warriors. Now as your enemy comes in, they will have 2 options. They can either stay on the objective and hold the objective, and then they've got to deal with your rapid firing guns, 2 maybe 3 turns of rapid firing, you can whistle some space marines down, or they're going to have to pull themselves off of the objective and head towards you. Now as your opponent comes forward, you obviously can move back even further, potentially giving yourself another round of shooting, like so. So all of a sudden your enemy has to make a choice. Objective, warriors. Go for the objective, you're going to take a lot of guns. Go for the warriors, you're moving off the objective yourself. Now potentially in the smaller games that tactic isn't going to be that useful, because you've obviously only got the 2 squads of warriors and not much else to work with. But it's the basic tactics for Necrons in terms of holding objectives. So keep your enemy choosing. Hopefully they'll make the wrong choice. And that's pretty much it. That is my 1000 point list. Maybe if you want to try us out, have a go. Let me know how you get on. Let me know if you've got any thoughts or tweaks that you think would be good for this list. And hopefully you'll have some fun with Necrons. Watch out for the next video. More to come.